Hello, welcome, drunks and fuck-ups. This is your sobriety talk with Robin and Harry Darling.
Hello.
Applause, applause for Harry Darling, because Harry Darling is soon. It's already 1 year sober.
Yes, 1 year and 2 weeks about, pretty much.
Crazy! And
so I already did what you want to do.
Yeah, so you can tell me what I have to expect in my horrible year of not drinking.
You're gonna meet a lot of boredom.
For real?
Yeah. But also a lot of boring people, which you, I hope, eliminate from your life.
Okay, so the thing is, you play in a punk band. We can say punk band, in a post rock band, or how do you call your music?
Punk rock band, yeah. Sure.
In a punk rock band, you're a drummer, and you know, if you play in a punk rock band, there is beer everywhere, and everybody's drunk and celebrating, and beer goes hand in hand.
That's right.
So when you go to a club, everybody's like, "You want to have a beer?"
That is right, and you would be surprised how many clubs actually have non-alcoholic beer. For driving, designated drivers, whatever.
So they have alcohol.
Yeah, you only notice when you stop drinking that there are a lot of people that don't drink alcohol too.
For real?
Yeah.
But not at a punk show.
Not at a punk show, no. Although, I mean, there is the whole hardcore scene, which goes into punk fluently, and there's the whole straight edge scene. So veganism and non-alcoholism is actually also around.
But you don't want to be somebody like them, or do you? Like,
no, well, actually, I think I turned straight edge by accident when I stopped drinking.
So you're vegan now?
No, apart from the meat thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? You don't smoke?
I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, I took coke maybe twice or so in the year, so that doesn't really count. I don't have random sex with random people
anymore.
Sounds
really boring. So why did you decide to stop drinking? This was the first thing, or you stopped everything at once?
No, I just stopped drinking.
In the middle of the year? Why?
In the 3 days before my birthday, actually.
Ah, okay.
Just why? I mean, I drank too much.
Yeah.
Same as you, probably. Yeah. I never peed in the corner of my apartment, like you mentioned in one of your videos. But I was just not living the way I should. I had money problems. I didn't really have a job. I would fall into slumps for months and not answer my phone, and no one could reach me and stuff like that. So
I was really depressed because of drinking. I don't know if you knew that, if you had the same feelings. My hangovers, they made me really feel bad, and I was full of guilt, and I was questioning myself.
Oh, yeah.
You know these kind of hangovers?
Yes, I do. And the hangovers would last like for months sometimes too. It would feel not like a physical hangover, like headache and stuff, but those depressions I would fall into, maybe you know this as well, they would last for ages.
Yeah.
So, and I thought in the beginning this would be other problems than just drinking.
True.
Like psychological problems or whatever, I don't know. Maybe I needed a girlfriend that would solve everything. But it turns out in the end that quitting drinking solved most of the problems I thought had nothing to do with it.
But your life got really boring because...
No, I shouldn't have said that as the first thing. It got way better suddenly. I stank less. So I would feel it was much easier to just go out and spend time outside because I was locking myself in a lot for days.
But drinking is not a drug where you lock yourself in usually. I go really hard when I'm drunk. I'm like, wow!
Well, yeah, okay, I would go out and of course drink all night with my friends and then wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning after 3 hours of sleep and just be and then start drinking on my own again.
Oh, for real?
Oh, yeah. And that would go a few days, and then you'd fall into the deep depression.
Oh, you had a real alcohol problem, like you woke up and drank again. That's crazy.
Yeah, that would happen sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was already a pretty hardcore level.
This is really personal, Jesus.
That's all right. We should talk about that. That's important. And then you did this this whole recovering thing by your own, or you had medical help?
No medical help.
You just said, I stopped drinking now, and then you stopped.
Well, I had some moral support, let's say it like that. It was my own decision in the end, yeah. I just woke up one morning and I was watching YouTube videos. Oh. And then I saw one that really, really hit me because it was actually a guy talking in a similar perspective as I was in. So I could show you this video later if you want to.
We put the link in this description. Yeah, of this video. Sure. You can don't click right away because you have to listen now. No,
and it's nothing special. It just kind of like hit the moment, and then I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna do this for a year, 365 days." I think anything shorter isn't really long enough because you never really get out of your cycle of drinking. So
you actually brought something.
I did.
You have
oh, this is the medical support. Yeah.
Okay.
It's non-alcoholic beer. You drink it, right?
Yes, I do.
So do you want some?
Yeah, of course. It's the best one. I like the Feldschlösschen. And what if it's someone's birthday? Yeah, I take one. Thank you. What if it's someone's birthday? Do you say cheers with a small cheers with a small glass, or you don't?
No, I don't.
Oh, let's cheers.
Cheers. With a big glass.
Yeah. Because I said I want to still do that.
I tried.
It's a really very small prosecco, like cheers.
See, I tried to get rid of any alcohol mechanism of drinking that had led to me being drunk before.
And this is not a mechanism?
No, I mean, well, yeah, okay, but I never ever in my life started out with drinking a non-alcoholic beer and ended up drunk in the end.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did start out with thinking, oh, I'll just have one Prosecco and then get home at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. True. I know that feeling.
So I just don't want to drink for the sake of drinking alcohol. And I can say cheers to my friends with a Coke too. So.
Yeah. I don't know for myself. There are times when I feel really disconnected to everybody around me.
Because you're not drinking.
Because I'm not
everyone
drinking.
else is. But I mean, you should view that as you're like an exotic person in that room then. Because you're the guy that made the active decision not to be part of what is normal,
yeah.
Which is awesome, right? I mean, who wants to be normal?
True. Yeah.
So I kind of always draw a parallel to becoming vegetarian because I was vegetarian for 15 years too. And it's like you make this decision and it becomes your personality afterwards. It's part of what people see when they look at you, like, oh, that's the guy that doesn't drink.
Yeah.
Instead of that's the guy that's so drunk every time I see him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's better? It's kind of a rhetorical question.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. Can you pick up girls being sober? Yeah, that's...
Well, you won't have like the midnight flings, of course, with the cheap whore from the bar, I guess. But that doesn't fulfill you in the end anyways.
But aren't people more scared when you're sober, when you meet a girl who's drinking, like, and you're like, oh, I don't drink?
No, actually, a lot of the time they'll think you're more interesting for that.
You got that if you drink anything more, you will probably die.
Well, okay, let's not exaggerate there, but it was going in a really bad direction. If I didn't stop drinking, then I would probably sometime never get out of it. Or way too late, or whatever.
So it was probably hard in the beginning.
Of course. But on the other hand, I was like so high on being sober because it was such a different feeling to be sober all the time. You might have had a similar experience. Because at first, beforehand, you were just, it was normal to be drunk, and then you're suddenly in these new situations where you're just totally clear in the head and can see everything the way it actually is. So that took actually a few months. I was like, and I body felt so good. My breath was way better. My shit like actually smelled like fecal shit and not like some toxic waste. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it makes you feel good about yourself. It gives you more confidence. So at first, that really helped me to get.
And in this time when you went out with your band, so you had there the confidence too? While being out at the bar, or did you feel like I'm an outsider?
Well, I think like a week after, or maybe a month after I stopped drinking, we went on a Spain tour for 2 weeks. And that was hard in some ways because I wasn't enjoying like the after parties as much.
Yeah.
Because I was boring to the people. I felt boring to everyone. But also they bored me because
I know this feeling.
Every evening it was just about getting drunk, playing and then getting drunk, and then sleeping it off, and then playing and then getting drunk and then sleeping it off. So I would like just go to bed earlier, but then I would get up earlier the next day and just enjoy the day so much more.
Okay.
It's like you win a lot of time instead of losing the time in the evening.
There was never a moment when you thought, okay, this stuff, this punk band shit, I should just stop it.
Yeah, last Saturday.
You felt like that?
Yeah, a bit.
Because of drinking? Because of not drinking?
Yeah.
Tell me about this incident.
I don't know, just every once in a while it pisses you off that everyone can only have fun when they're drinking. And that you don't even realize it that much when you're part of it.
So you too, you like for yourself, you were pissed off. You were not having fun.
No. Yeah, I was pissed off. I wasn't having fun. Yeah.
Because you couldn't drink.
No, not because I couldn't drink, but because everyone else was just drinking, and that was the only reason they were there.
So you weren't jealous.
No.
It's a complete different feeling.
That, yeah.
It's like the feeling, why don't you get it, people?
I don't want to be a preacher, of course not. But I did have a phase where out of fun, I would just be a complete asshole not drinker. Yeah. And that's fun too. Just like...
How does it look like?
Make people feel bad when they're drinking.
Oh, how do you do that?
Just whenever they're like, oh, can you pass me a beer? To say, no, I'm not going to support that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. You should try it.
I don't know if I can have fun going out. That's my thing. I'm a singer in a band too, and a lot like you in this setup where everybody's drinking. All our songs are about drinking.
Yeah.
And then when I don't drink, I just feel like I can't fit in there anymore. Is there a way to come over it? You know this feeling?
Yeah, and I still have it. But I think we are two different people in that way too, because I enjoy being alone and an outsider a lot.
Okay.
So I always pretty much hate what everyone else loves for some reason. It's just like a switch in my head. Yeah. So I feel completely comfortable being an outsider in those situations.
Isn't there a voice in your head who says, well, you did a year now, it's possible to drink a beer once in a while?
There is a voice in my head that says that, yes.
And what do you say to this voice?
I say, fuck you.
For real?
Yeah.
You think you can't handle the beer normally?
Well, I think it's too much of a risk because I had like the best year I've had in ages since I was a kid, probably. Yeah. Yeah? Probably, yeah.
So what was so good in this year? The highlights?
I just felt I didn't hate myself as much. I didn't doubt myself as much. And also I got to know myself a lot better, which I think you're planning on doing as well.
Yeah.
And you just like, you get to know yourself and what parts of your personality were because of drinking and what parts of your personality are actually you. And as soon as you can kind of figure that out, you get to accept yourself more, maybe, and work with yourself a bit better instead of just like fighting against yourself with drinking away problems so you can be the funny, happy guy all the time.
Yeah. The thing was, when I was drinking in the next morning, I was thinking about the day before. And I always was like, oh shit, and I did this and I did that. And I felt really, really bad about it. That was hardcore.
Yeah.
Now it's not that hard anymore.
Yeah.
But my brain is still trying to find this old drinking problem stuff in other situations.
Well, of course. I mean, it's like a hard cut for your brain too. Give it a break. I mean, let it get used to it. Because you're 33, or how old are you? You've been drinking since you're 16 or so. Of course, you're not gonna like go bam, and then everything is just completely different and better or whatnot. I mean, give yourself the year and then decide then if it's better or not.
Of course.
I would like to talk about making music when sober.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my greatest fears when I stopped drinking, was that I would stop enjoying to, stop enjoying to write songs and spend time in the band room with the band or alone, just writing lyrics and songs. Because I would spend...
have some, or can I...
Yeah, go for it. Because I would spend 3 days in a row in that band room and get shit-faced, even if I'm alone, and that would be how I'd write music. So I was afraid that would go away. But it turns out that it didn't, and I was much more...
Creative?
I wasn't more creative, no, but I was more concentrated over a long period of time. Okay. So before, I would write songs for 3 days, and then I would be in one of those slumps, and I wouldn't want to listen to that shit that I produced because it sucks anyways, you know? And now it's more like I could work on our new album, which is coming out at the end of October, by the way.
Okay, cool. So you get the link down below.
That as well, yeah.
In the description. And another thing is, did you ever feel as excited or as happy as you felt when you were drunk while being sober? It's a mean question.
I'm trying to think of... Well, does orgasm count?
Probably.
It's a bit shorter. No, maybe not. Like, I never had like a peak of being drunk, but in general, my general mood and happiness in life was so much higher than it was before. In an average, I'd say. And also another thing you can say, there's like no perfect time for it. Because there's always something that's gonna be ahead of you. Like in a week, it's Lisa's birthday, and then it's her daughter's birthday, and then it's Christmas and whatnot. So there's always a reason to drink. So I think when quitting, like making the decision to quit, is similar to making a decision to break up with a long love that just isn't working anymore. The relationship isn't good anymore, and you both know it, and you just have to get rid of it, but it's really hard to make that step, you know? So tears may or may not be involved.
Did you cry?
Yeah, I did.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So you didn't?
No, you said, I have stopped drinking. For real? That's funny.
Well, it was just a scary idea, because thinking of a whole year after drinking for like 20 years, no, not quite 20 years, but a long time, it's a scary thought, right?
Of course.
Because you don't know if you're...
And you think, if I win this, or if I go to this celebration, or to this wedding, I can't drink. That's scary.
Yeah, that's a scary thought, because you don't know if you're going to be super bored or super boring. So yeah, it's like saying goodbye to someone you love dearly, but you know it just has to happen.
Funny picture, seeing you crying. I cannot.
And I did, because I don't have makeup on now, but I usually do, so it was all runny and shit.
So did you cry more when you left alcohol, or did you cry more when you left your first girlfriend?
I think more when I left alcohol.
For real?
Because it was a longer relationship.
Okay. Okay. I didn't cry yet. Probably I will sometime.
I hope so. It's healthy.
Cool.
Gut.
Super.